Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is 1 p.m. here in New Vienna, Iowa. That means it's time for another live stream. Today is Tuesday, December 24th, 2021. And because it is a Tuesday, it's time for Tuesday trivia. Today, we've got regular trivia, no visual game or any other game, although I do kind of have a preference for games. Sometimes it's nice to just get back to the basics, do some trivia today. Today's theme is going to be elite eats. What are elite athletes eating as either part of their pre-race, post-race, or their recovery? Sometimes, I feel like, especially in the distance running community, there tends to be a big kind of like trend for people to develop kind of affinities for things, peculiar preferences, and we're going to dive into that. Although I have a feeling most of you guys here, these are going to be easy for you guys. So we'll see how tough of a trivia it is. Either way, whether it's easy or hard, there's no prizes, there's no points, and we're just doing it for fun. All right, let's say hi to everyone listening on the podcast version. Hopefully you're having a good run out there today. I had a beautiful run. I drove up to Pikes Peak Park here in Iowa, Pikes Peak, Iowa, not Pikes Peak in Colorado. But Pikes Peak, Iowa is a very nice place to run. And I definitely enjoyed my time out there. I saw so many deer. I saw like probably two large groups. There were like probably 5 or 6 in each of those large groups, and then a couple of the solos just heading around. So it was really cool to be out there. And then while I was out there, I was remembering the story that I only partially listened to my mother-in-law telling my wife about how she was walking the dog somewhere, and I don't remember where it was. That's the part I should have paid closer attention to. And she saw something laying in the field, and she realized it was a bobcat or maybe a mountain lion. And I'm like, wait, are there bobcats and mountain lions in Iowa? She's like, fortunately, I had the dog with me. I was like, whoa. Nothing happened, but I think she felt better that the dog was with her. But I did not encounter any jungle cats or prairie cats or whatever you would call that. I just had some really great scenery on the run. And everyone watching this on YouTube after the fact, hopefully you're sitting back, relaxing. It's holiday week for a lot of people. So a lot of people are finishing up, wrapping up the week. Hopefully you've done that too and are relaxing with a recovery beverage. I've got some afternoon coffee. All right, let's see who we got in the chat. I'm going to try to catch up to you guys. I know I'm always behind. Randon Lewis says, hi, Coach. Do you have any problems with the stride calibration? What's going on, Randon? Love the wave emoji. I don't think I had any. I'm not sure that I ever calibrated mine. I mean, I feel like there's a period that the stride takes to get to know you. And I think that's more to figure out like what are your power numbers, how does it correlate to paces and effort and stuff. But I don't really remember having calibrated mine. They say that you might need to do it if you're going to do a lot of treadmill running, but I've never had to do that on mine. Maybe I need to. PG1980 says, good to see you again, Pete. Says, hi, Co, how's it going? Are the new Beats better than the old ones? I've got the old Beats Pro and wasn't sure whether to upgrade to the new ones or not. See, for me, I had the Power Beats Pro, so I'm going to assume that's what you mean. And mine stopped charging because of the connectors, like the magnetic points just didn't work very good for me. And so I really like those earbuds. I like the buttons because you like squeeze the buttons like this, so like you touch them from the top rather than poking yourself in the ear. So I appreciated that. But they just stopped working. They stopped carrying a charge. Or they would sometimes. That was the worst. It's like sometimes you could rely on it, sometimes you couldn't, and you never knew what you were going to get. So that's why I stopped using mine. And so if you're still using yours and getting and enjoying it, I'd say I don't see a tremendous need to upgrade. I mean, I know a lot of people were really enthusiastic about the new Beats Fit, or the Beats Fit Pro. I was underwhelmed by them. So especially now since the Jabra Elite 85T is on sale by quite a bit, I'm pushing people towards that. I feel like the sound is better, and I feel like the noise canceling is better. And I mean, and by that I mean really the ambient mode is better. So I prefer that one. I think the Beats Fit Pro fit a little bit better. So if you're super sweaty or if you have a problem with earbuds staying in, then maybe that's something to consider. But I don't think that there's a huge need to upgrade from one to the other, just because I feel like the noise canceling on the Beats Fit Pro is not stellar, in my opinion. All right. Thomas Villa says, yo, what's going on? Leona says, hey, co-fam, working and live streaming simultaneous today. Wonder how many elite and sub-elite athletes choose burritos as a pre-race meal. Well, we will get into that. Let's start off with the first question. It's not about burritos, though, but let's just get started with the questions because sometimes otherwise I forget. All right. Number one trivia question for today. Which ultra runner always eats Subway sandwiches before a race? I think she likes the tuna fish. which people give her a hard time because of that story with like the Subway and the tuna DNA or the lack of tuna DNA in the tuna fish. But she still likes it for her own reasons. Which ultra runner always likes to get Subway for the race? I'm going to scroll down. Sorry if I missed any of your questions. All right. Stevie Sammy's got hands on the buzzer. Alan Journey says it's Tom Brady. I mean, I bet you Tom Brady could probably. I mean, I guarantee you that guy's fit. Has he ever run? Does anyone know? Has he ever run a marathon before? I'm guessing he probably hasn't, but I feel like he could do that. JC said, I knew the answer to this a few weeks ago. And there's some people that are saying, Jonathan's saying Sally McRae. Shannon's also saying Sally McRae. She may very well eat Subway before a race, but that's not the person I'm thinking of. Average ultra runner thinks Del Walter, also not who I'm thinking of. Again, maybe they all get together and they all go as a group, or maybe one person flies. It's like one person flies, everyone else buys. I'm not sure how it works. I would love the idea of like Sarah Lee McRae, Courtney Dahlwalter, and this third person walk into a Subway and order some sandwiches. Like that's the start of a pretty funny story, I think. Yeah, Luna says, I know we talked about it a couple of times. If anyone knows. Yeah, JC says, I know the reasoning because it's always the same food anywhere in the world. It's safe. Yes, she said that she first started eating at Subway because she was on like the USA something team. I forget which team. And they were in was it Chile? I want to say Chile. Maybe it was Peru. And they were saying they were worried about food contamination, either from a gut health perspective or from accidental contaminants. So then she started eating the foot-long tuna fish. And since then, whether she's in somewhere in South America or in some of the best gastronomic places in the world, like places, I mean, not that Peru and Chile don't have a fantastic food, but in other places, she still always gets Subway. Luna says it's Molly, but Video's got it. It is Camille Heron. She's the one that always eats Subway. But you know what I've also seen? I've been following her on Twitter for a while now. She's also a big fan of Taco Bell. I wonder if it's for the same reasons, but she also seems to be eating at a lot of Taco Bell. Yeah, CV76 says there's no PEDs in Subway. I think that's pretty much the idea, that they're worried about like getting accidentally dosed. So you wouldn't want that to happen. And also you wouldn't want to get like, food poisoning or anything like that. So Will Gravel says, I couldn't eat a foot long before a race. That sounds awful. I don't think she's eating it like waiting at the start line before like her like throwaway clothes come off, but I think that's kind of like the day before kind of meal. So that's where that's coming from. Oh man, that's awesome. Dave Hale wants to know if I'm going to be running Boston 2022. I'm not. I'm most likely going to be going there to watch it. I got to figure out like, I'm going to probably need to start calling the BA, not calling, but emailing BAA, see if I can get some media credentials, figure out so they know that I'm coming. I don't want to get BAA'd like Steven Ganoza did. So, because, if I'm going to go out there on my own dime to try and film this event from a spectator's perspective, I want to make sure that, it's going to be worth it. Plus, I just want to experience kind of like the whole marathon weekend. All right. Avalon Journey says, was hoping for 6 hours, but finished first 50K in 6:43. That's amazing. Great job. 22-year-old kid won at 3:51. He beat well-known trail runner Pete Mortimer by 17 minutes. Man, that's quite a comment. Like there's a lot packed into that one sentence. But congratulations on finishing the first 50K at 6:43. It's a fantastic time. Man, that's a good job. And 3:51 for 50K. Oh, that's really good. Really, really good. Awesome. All right, let's get to Jonathan Crossley says, if you can keep the macros in check, it is probably not all that bad from a consistency standpoint. Yeah, I think that like, having something that's familiar is really good for big races, is what I'm thinking. All right, let's get to, Martha's here. Good to see you, Martha. Let's get to question number 2. I think you guys will know this because if you're watching this channel, you're probably watching another channel where this challenge was featured. But what marathoner refueled basically every day as part of a 3-day, 3 marathon challenge? And he refueled with Olive Garden. Do you remember the athlete's name? He's not a pro runner. I don't think he's a pro. No, he's not a pro runner. But he certainly ran like a pro over the weekend. I think in that weekend, I'm not sure what he placed in the second and the third marathon, but the first one was the Baltimore Running Festival, the Baltimore Marathon. I think he came in second. So, I mean, he's no slouch. All right, let's see. Mark Ingham's here, says, yo, what's going on? So that kid Caleb said, Seth James Moore. I don't know if Seth eats Olive Garden. I actually don't know if that's something that he eats. But that's not the person that I'm thinking about. Apple Journey says, the ball guy. That's right. That's him. Louis Becerra says, Jamie, no, I don't think, has Jamie ever run a marathon? He's run half marathons before. I don't know that he's ever run a marathon. I'm actually not sure. Brendan Camus here says, hello. Hope you're all doing well. Good to see you, Brendan. Thanks for stopping by. And let's see who's got it. Someone had it right away. Martha had it. It was Jordan. That's right. Jordan Trope. Jonathan Crossley had the last name. Jordan Trope is the runner. He is a physician. I believe is he an orthopedist? I want to say orthopedic surgeon. For some of these, I want to say orthopedic surgeon. I want to say anesthesiologist, but I think anesthesiologist is that Marty Hayhair? Is he the one that's an anesthesiologist? I'm not sure. I'm getting the specialties mixed up. But yeah, so he ran the Baltimore Running Festival. He ran Chicago and then ran Boston. Set a world record in the process for 3 consecutive marathons in terms of his average time. And every night before the race, he ate Olive Garden. Did I mention this? By the way, all the people that I'm mentioning today, except for the bonus, but all the main 5 questions for today, all the foods that we're talking about, no one is sponsored by these foods that we're talking about, as far as I know, which I feel like is a big missed opportunity, both from the athlete's perspective, their agents should be reaching out, trying to get this worked out, and also from the brand perspective. Because I feel like, I mean, I don't know, maybe is Subway, I guess, is Subway already the unofficial sponsor? And like Subway and Olive Garden are probably already the unofficial sponsors of like every high school track and cross country team, right? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong on that one. All right. Yeah. A lot of people didn't know that one. That one's a little bit more obscure, but if you're kind of like in like my little corner, not mine, but the little corner of the internet that I exist in, that was big news for me. And like the people that believe in the run, they followed him around and put out that really great video about it. So yeah. Jonathan says SGD reviews with chips and salsa. He does love the chips and salsa, doesn't he? Oh, I love it. All right. And let's see. That kid wants to know if it was me. I've not run 3 marathons in 3 days before. I think the closest I've ever run 2 marathons has probably been like a month. I ran Chicago and then Indianapolis. It was in 2018, I think, something like that. So, all right. Seatown fan wants to know how's the weather in Chicago. Snow. I mean, we're in Iowa now. It's 200 miles due west of Chicago. It's a little bit colder than Chicago typically, and it's been cold here in Iowa, and I think in Chicago too. But no snow. I mean, it snowed a couple times, but it was always too warm for it to stick. Now it's really cold and no snow. I think for the weekend forecast for the holiday weekend here in Iowa, they're saying it might rain on Christmas Eve, which is super, super lame because that probably just means icy conditions for everybody. So no white Christmas for us here, I think. All right. Brendan, what is going on with this? He says, I've been drinking the same coffee for 2 years. Today I put in an online order and I accidentally picked the wrong coffee. He took the chance to compare them and turns out his normal coffee is 50% decaf. You've been running on only half unleaded, or I guess half leaded fuel this whole time. That's crazy. You know what happened to me? This is, I guess, not really all that related, but it kind of reminds me of that. When I was in CIM, so I'm at the hotel at CIM, and all hotels, it seems these days, have some sort of like in-room coffee maker, and they have like the Keurig K cups, like the little single one. You pour like the water in the top for like that one cup, and then you put the same cup underneath on the bottom. And it's early in the morning, like the first night I'm there. So not race day. The first time I'm there, I go in, I put in the thing, and I get the cup, and I'm about to have it, and I look at I empty the chamber thing, and it says decaf on it. I'm like, oh goodness, I don't want decaf. So I throw it away, dump the coffee out, and I make another one. And I say, all right, look, let's look at this carefully. All right, that one's regular. And I put it in, make the coffee, empty the chamber. I'm about to drink it, and I look at the used K cup, and 2 times in a row, even the second time I looked at it specifically to check that it wasn't decaf, the second time I made decaf again. I was like, what the heck is going on? By the third time, I was able to get it right. So I've accidentally decafed myself too, Brendan. So you're not alone. But for 2 years, that's a long time. I mean, you didn't notice, like when you went other places, you're like, this coffee's strong. Everywhere's coffee is strong except my coffee. I think this needs further investigation. Maybe Canadian Coffee Week. Is that what's going on? I can't imagine. What's the place that everyone goes to in Canada? It's like Wawa here, or like in New Jersey, there's Wawa, or like around here in Iowa, it's Casey's. Tim Hortons, right? How's the coffee's not super strong there? I would imagine it's strong there. That KK says, any tips for shoes to run the 5K and 2,400 meters in track races? I would say that's going to depend on the rules of your league, Caleb. Like if you have stack height limitations, a long distance spike might fit, but a 5K or even 2,400 meters. I'm not familiar with that distance from a race perspective, but like that, the 2,400 meters, like I think like a 3,000 meters. When I did the 3,000 meter steeple, I wore spikes, and I felt like that was a fine for me, even though I'm not that fast. I suspect that you're faster than me. So I think that you could probably wear a spike for that. But for the 5K, you could wear like a long distance spike, or I feel like a road shoe would be really good. I would go with something really, really, really lightweight and thin midsole. You might have stack height limitations. I'm not sure, depending on what the rules are. So I would check with the rules. If there aren't any rules, then I've been thinking about getting the Takumi Sen, but I've also been running in the Audio 6, and I might just run. I have a indoor mile coming up, and I'm either going to run in spikes or I think the Audio 6. So that's one that I would look at. Other ones I would look at are like the Puma Liberate. That one's a lot of fun. New Balance Rebel, a version 2 as far as road shoes go. Those don't have plates, but they're pretty low to the ground, and they're really great on the softer surfaces of a track. All right, let's get to the next question. Jason says, Subway does not have the best history with who they officially sponsor. I mean, right now they're sponsoring everybody. I mean, or at least they're getting a lot of people in their commercials, it seems. I don't know. I'm very surprised by that. All right. Let me scroll down a little bit. Sorry, I'm really far behind you guys in the chat. Jason says, oh man, I miss Casey's Pizza. It fueled me through college. Oh man, that's funny. I'm back when I was eating meat, I was very keen on the breakfast pizza. That's just delicious. I mean, it's terrible, but it's delicious. Other than that, I can't say that any other Casey's Pizza has really stood out to me, but the breakfast pizza is always really good. All right, Terry says, I never drink coffee, instant headache. Some people are like that. Very sensitive to caffeine. I've never had that problem. Martha says, Kofuzi, is there a chance your track smoothing could get canceled with all the stuff being canceled in New York? Or have they sent any correspondence about how it's going to be handled regarding COVID? I haven't heard anything yet. I'm very bad at checking my email. And I should probably check. It's something that's been on my mind. If you guys aren't familiar, like cases are exploding in New York. And so like a lot of Broadway shows are canceled until at least the new year. And the Rockettes have canceled the rest of their season. I don't know why, but that's always seems to be like more poignant of a cancellation for me. Just because it seems to be such a New York institution. Not that Broadway is not. But I don't know. So maybe an arbitrary thing, but I don't know if there are going to be some restrictions on the number of people that they can have in events. So it's something that I'm keeping an eye on. I have a feeling that even if they do have it, I may not want to go, just because I am going to be visiting with my sister and her family and my parents. So like I'll be going to that event and then go spending time with my family where there's people that are older and people that are younger. So, we'll see. We'll see. I was just actually talking to my sister about it today. We're both kind of on the same page about stuff like that. So it's possible. It's possible. I really hope that it doesn't get canceled because it seems, I mean, it's a fundraiser, right? So you don't want to see those kinds of things get canceled. But other things that have more money on the line are canceling. I mean, I know those events are going to be bigger, and have people in tighter spaces. But it's something to be concerned about. Dermot says, "Have you been watching Sweat Elite? They are hammering out elite runner workouts. Really interesting and inspiring. I like it a lot. I really do. Because it really gets you like the entire workout, and I mean, I think that there's definitely a space for that. I think that we need more stuff like that. Because it used to be, who was it? It wasn't Let's Run. It was Flow Track that used to do a lot of those. They would go visit the different colleges and stuff or different pro groups and make these kind of workout videos. And I hope that Flow Track continues to do those kinds of things, and Sweat Elite continues to do those kind of things, and more people start doing those kinds of things, because I think that like we're not saturated. We're not even close to saturated. And I think that in a sport that doesn't have like a weekly game like football, and doesn't have like 2 or 3 times a night, or maybe 4 or 5 times a week, I mean, games like basketball or hockey, we need more opportunities for the pros to be visible to the public, and perform. And so like I love all these things. I watch all of them. I don't remember them all, but whenever they pop up, I always do enjoy watching the workouts. I'm a big fan. All right, let's see. Danny running with scissors says, "Hey there, late but made it to the live stream. Good to see you." And Seatown fan says they're saying we get a white Christmas in Seattle. Is that normal? That doesn't sound normal to me. But I guess like Pacific Northwest, you guys get snow. Does Seattle get snow though, with like the way that the ports are and the ocean currents? I'm not sure. I can't. I know there's skiing in the area, but like, does Seattle? I don't know. I'm not good. With that kind of geography, I guess. All right, let's get to the. Will says, "Have you come up with a list of the most disappointing shoes for 2021?" No, I haven't. I don't think that there's been a lot of real big disappointments this year. Maybe there have been. I think I maybe been a little bit more picky, but I mean, I just feel like peak disappointment in a shoe was like Hyperion Elite 1, because the shoe wasn't great and they botched the release. And so like, after that, everything's like, those shoes were a little bit of a letdown. And it's kind of like, I don't like to crap on people. And I feel like the people that know they made a bad shoe know they made a bad shoe. I don't know. Maybe that's something that's worth looking into. But I don't feel like there's been a lot of shoes where I'm just like, well, I don't know about this. A lot of the shoes that I've had the most kind of like visceral reaction to are also shoes that I've liked. Kind of like how I get really mad at the ZoomX Invincible, because I do like the midsole. It's weird, but I like it in a way. But the upper is just a disaster, right? So like that's kind of like, I mean, I guess I could talk about things like that. Maybe that would be a good one. I don't know. All right, let's get to what number are we on? Number 3. All right, this one was recent. So like, I mean, if you're following the channel, you'll know this one. What miler eats pizza and salad right before a big race? He likes to eat pizza and salad. It became a thing. He set up PR eating pizza and salad before a race one time. And now his wife makes sure that every time the night before a race, he eats pizza and salad. Do you guys remember? Speaking of snow, Seatown fan says, a few times a year, this season looks colder than usual in terms of getting snow. Okay. All right. So it's not like I was way off. So Seattle's not like a snow-covered city in the winter then. All right. Seatown fan says, is it Nick Curry? It's not Nick Curry. But you guys have it because I just had him on the channel a little while ago and he talked about it. Everyone's got it. Thomas Villa says, well, Well, I think he meant Willis. Jonathan Crossley said Nick Willis. Jason Dahl said Nick Willis. That's right. He called them courgettes too, because the pizza that he had in Tokyo had zucchini, sliced zucchini on it, which I'm like, zucchini is such a wet vegetable. Like, I wouldn't want to have that on pizza. But then I'm like, yeah, I mean, even bad pizza is good pizza. So you're not going to stop me from eating the pizza if it's got courgettes on it. So, yeah, that's what he likes to eat. And he posted about it. And he said that it's his wife that has to remind him. I mean, how do you not remember to eat pizza? But apparently his wife reminds him because he PR'd in Monaco years ago, I think in a Diamond League race. And since then it's been his tradition. So I'm a big fan of pizza, and I feel like this gives us all a blessing to have. I typically, when I travel for a race, I end up eating pizza as at least one of my pre-race meals. And I feel bad about it because I'm like, is this too heavy? Is this too much like cheesy, oily stuff to have before a race? But now I feel like, he's a man of longevity. He's been doing this. He's been 19 years in a row, hopefully going on 20 of hitting sub 4 miles. I mean, if it works for him, then I think it could work for me. I don't think the logic works there, but that's not how it works. But I'm gonna use it to give myself permission to eat even more pizza. All right. Thomasville says zucchini is great on pizza. I think that if it were cooked beforehand, then maybe I would like it. But I think if you put it raw on the pizza, I don't think it would be done fast enough. Right? You'd have to cook it first. Right? Maybe saute it first. I don't know. Yeah, Danny J says, is there any toppings for the PR pizza? Well, for Tokyo, he had zucchini. But he says he doesn't like to eat anything deep fried. So I guess as long as you're not eating anything deep fried on the pizza, you're okay. Because I'm thinking, like, do you really want to have like pepperoni or sausage? It can be a little bit greasy, maybe. I don't know. I'm not sure. I should have, that's a question I should have followed up on. What are the favorite toppings? I don't know. Average Alternative says that Nicholas has been running sub 4 since he was 9. The only thing he was 9 was spraining the ankle. Oh man, that's funny. That's so funny. Danny J says, did you put beets on the pizza for the enduro gains? That's an interesting idea. Yeah, I think beets are highly underrated as a food. I've been taking like beet powder and drinking it. It tastes terrible. I don't like taking beets as like a pre-run drink. But I do enjoy eating beets. I love getting them at restaurants. This with some goat cheese, maybe some candied walnuts as a little appetizer. I think that's super delicious. And I love eating them at a restaurant because then that means I didn't have to cook it at home. And like purple beets or the red ones, so delicious. But like if you ever try to make them at home, it looks like you've slaughtered something in your kitchen afterwards. The color gets everywhere and it's hard to get out. It's crazy. Will says he likes avocado on pizza. I've never tried that. Does it go on after the pizza's cooked, or you put that in with the pizza when it's cooking? I have questions. Tony Boo says zucchini with chicken and ranch dressing, one of the pizzas of California. That sounds like a California thing to eat. I would try it. I mean, not with the chicken, but I would try that. If someone was like, here's how we eat it here, I would definitely try it. But I'll be like, I'm not sure about this one. I'll take your word for it. Terry Verlong says there's a pickled beet factory in his town and it smells good. Okay, smells good. Okay. Michael Chang wants to know, do pineapples belong on pizza? I think that if you're going to also have a salty topping with it, then it works, right? Because if it's just the fruit, then I'm not sure I like it. Although, you know what, if it's your pizza, you eat what you want to eat on the pizza. I feel like there's no rules. Do what you want. In Iowa, we had Happy Joe's pizza the other day, Sunday, and we ordered a veggie supreme. Which the one question they ask you at Happy Joe's Pizza and when you order the veggie supreme pizza is, do you want that with sauerkraut or without? And then we had a sausage pizza, a pepperoni, a cheese. There was a bunch of us. All the kids were over the big baking day. And then we had chicken bacon ranch. No, BLT. Bacon, lettuce, tomato pizza. I didn't eat that one, but Yeah, bacon, lettuce, tomato. And then I think instead of tomato sauce, it's ranch dressing as the sauce. So, I mean, you can do what you want. And Martha says, agree. Pineapple or any fruit is good with the salty meats. See, I think you need the balance, you know. So then I think that works. All right. Let's see what else we got here. Let's go to the next question. Look, number 4. All right. We talked about this person yesterday. Which marathoner is known? I don't think that this person eats burritos. Maybe he does. I don't know. Before a race, or probably he eats one afterwards. But which marathoner is known for rating burritos on Twitter? He's the head of the Burrito Mafia. And he launched merch like the same weekend as the Shelby Houlihan thing. And I was like, oh, that's the worst, unfortunate timing for a merch launch. But you know, that's what happened. So which marathoner, we talked about him yesterday, is known for rating burritos on Twitter? And you guys know this one right away. Hey, hold on. Hey, I'm on camera over here. You can't be walking around here without a shirt on. Sorry, guys. We're all up in here and the baby's walking around. She's having a hard time getting dressed quickly. And she's walking around without a shirt on. She's 5. I mean, it's not a big deal, but you know, we don't need to see that. But let's go on. We'll keep working. Yeah, Brendan had it right first. Says it's Scott Fobble. Dr. Josh, what's going on? What up, fam? He's got it as well. Dr. Josh, congratulations on the repeat victory, taking the half marathon crown again in Florida with the Santas in the heat, which is always a kind of a weird look, if you ask me. Are you done? All right, she's done. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, you guys all had it. Jonathan Crosby said, yep, Scott Burrito Fobble. We haven't heard anywhere about where he's going yet. I'm guessing we won't hear until after January 1st, right? That's my guess. Once he's new. Yeah. Oh, Andrew Lippy, when we were talking about pizza, says, I'm Italian. I don't like where the conversation is going. You know what? There is a TikTok channel I've been watching. I've been trying to figure out TikTok. I've been on it for a little bit. I've been posting a little bit there, but I've been mostly just watching. They're trying to figure out like, what do people like here? What do people come here for? And there's one account that I'm absolutely infatuated with. It's about an Italian who married an American woman, and she's always kind of like goosing him a little bit, gaslighting him about stuff. And you know, the last week they took him. Well, I think I haven't seen the video yet, but they're about to take him to an Olive Garden and see how he reacts. And they've been trying to feed him like Chef Boyardee and just gives him a hard time, tormenting the man. And it's absolutely hilarious. So, I mean, and there's been not spin-off, but there's been other accounts of other couples that are similar where one spouse is Italian, one spouse is American, and they're kind of like culture clash things. It's very cute and adorable. I'm absolutely loving it. So those are really funny to watch. I think it's the Pacinis. I think that's the account name, something like that. But it's really, really funny. All right. So yeah, it was Scott Fobble. Sorry, I totally got sidetracked there. Scott Fobble is the leader. He's the capo of the Burrito Mafia. I don't know. Has he ever given himself a title? But he's always rating burritos. He seems to really likes the ones that are smothered. Those seem to get a lot of high rankings from him. All right. Roman Benedict says, "Sup, Kofuzi? When you come to Miami, you can have the 305 experience." Oh man, I don't think I've been to Miami in a long time. I'm trying to think of the last time I've only been to Miami once, and it was when I was a kid, maybe when I was my daughter's age. So, you know, I'm overdue for a trip. I'll be in Clearwater at the end of next month for the Clearwater, what do they call it? The running festival? It's the Run Clearwater weekend or something. I'll be running the half marathon. I know that's not close, but we'll have to figure something out for sure. I keep looking at the Miami Marathon. It's like in January. It's supposed to be pretty flat. Maybe I'll have to run that one year. All right. Let's see. Let me scroll down here, make sure I'm not missing any more comments. Let's see. Black Fam says you can really learn a lot about a person by their current TikTok algorithm. I mean, most of mine are runners, so I'm following like lots of runners, seeing what runners are posting. Like like the weird thing that I've noticed about TikTok is like um videos are very short. It's just like obnoxiously short. Um and I don't understand, and everything sounds the same. I think TikTok does a very aggressive job of making all the videos look like all the other videos. Um so it's like, yeah, I mean, it's really weird. It's a very weird space. All right, Mark is registered for Clearwater. All right, dude, we're gonna run together then. I'm looking forward to seeing you there. All right. Dermot says a friend of mine would always down a can of Coke and a Mars bar 10 minutes before a 10K road race, and this guy was fast, 32-minute 10K. Tried it once and never went there again. That's really funny. I think like the amount of sugar sounds great, but I think all the carbonation from that Coke, oh, that would definitely be percolating in me the whole time and just be like, it'd be a lot of those kind of like, you know, like fills the mouth burp, like those kinds. Oh yeah. Maybe a good way to distract your opponents, you know? Oh man. Remy says Clearwater is home to my favorite beach in the country on Caldesi Island. Oh, I'll have to go look for that. Caldesi Island. Cool. Matt Legrand's here, says, Yoko, what's going on? Good to see you again, Matt. Awesome. Matt says, I see a lot of dance videos on TikTok. I don't know what that says about me, but whatever it is, it isn't good. You know what? I've been trained by Instagram to immediately scroll past the dance video. Because if you look on Instagram at one dance video, like you just let it play, and I go, what's this? Then all of a sudden your entire feed is dance videos. And so it's like, oh goodness. And it takes a couple of days to fix it. So you just got to instantly next, just swipe up really fast to the next video. So I don't get any dance videos on TikTok. He's mostly running videos. I'm trying to think. Is there something else? No, I think that's pretty much it. Stowe says, as far as the Mars bars go, Stowe says, mini bars for me. Discovered them by accident for half marathons. They work in Ireland. Oh. And I bet the Mars bars in Ireland are different than the ones we have here in the US too. So maybe if I'm ever in that part of the world, I'll have to go look for some. An Irish Mars bar. See, Irish Mars bar, that sounds like a euphemism. But I'm guessing like just a regular Mars bar in Ireland, or I guess a mini. I'll have to find that. I think is that a big thing over there, or is that just you still? That'd be funny if it was like like if you went to like the Dublin Marathon and like you're trying to find Mars bars before the race, and like all the stores are out of Mars bars because that's what everyone eats. That's probably not the case, but that'd be amazing if that were. Brian Battaglia says, I get so angry with Instagram Reels. I hate all the videos and keep watching them thinking I'll find something I like, and then I keep getting shown the same terrible video. It's watching you very carefully, not literally, but it keeps note of what you actually stay on. So like if you don't see it, you got to scroll right on by real fast. Caleb Efford says, what did you listen to on the Apple Watch at CIM? I listened to I think I have my Kofuzi Run Club mix. So all the stuff that I listen to for working out. The battery's done. Well, I listened to it on the entire bus ride up from Sacramento up to Folsom, which was like 45 minutes or so. I don't remember. I listened to the Rambling Runner podcast. Matt Chittum was doing a recap of his build up to CIM, and it's just a familiar voice and very relaxing. So I listened to that. And then I was listening to music during the warm up. And then by the time the race started, my battery died on my Apple Watch. I have a very old Apple Watch. It's Series 4, like mile 9. So it didn't last very long, which is what I was expecting. I either could have listened to it the whole race or I could have not listened to it on the bus. And I wanted to listen to it on the bus. All right. Will's got some more information on the avocado and the pizza. He says, I add the avocado when the pizza's halfway done with about 6 to 8 minutes left to cook so it won't dry out. Okay, there you go. So, you want it warmed and cooked a little bit, but not desiccated. Okay, got it. All right. Will says when he looks at TikTok, he says, every time someone sends me a TikTok and I look at it, the next video is always some horrifying medical procedure or pimple popping video. I've never seen either of those on TikTok. That is crazy. You know what YouTube's been sending me a lot of lately? is like both flat earther and debunking flat earthers videos. I don't know why. I've been getting a lot of those. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I've done anything to deserve that. I just think that it's like, I don't know. Maybe this guy hasn't been watching that much TikTok lately. That much YouTube lately. Let's give him some of the stuff that everyone else is watching on YouTube. So I don't know what that is. Crazy. All right, let's get to the next question. We are on number 5. I think you guys should get this one. Which marathoner should pretty much be sponsored by Dunkin? I don't think that she is, but she pretty much should be. I think she's talked about it too, saying like, I want to be sponsored by Dunkin. And I can't believe that like they haven't picked her up. But does Dunkin' Donuts? I guess they're just Dunkin' now. Does Dunkin' sponsor athletes? I don't know. I feel like they should. All right, and it says hi, Kuzi and everybody. Just about to start a Zwift session. It's freezing in the garage. Well, you'll warm up. You'll warm up soon. And Danny J says, I made a grave mistake not packing enough lunch and coming to Kapuzi live stream. 10% running, 90% food. Now I need pizza. That sounds about right. Stevie76 says the Earth has at least an 8mm drum. Oh, it's so funny. And Leona's got this one. She was the first one coming with the answer. Which marathoner should pretty much be sponsored by Dunkin'? And that's Molly. At least that's, I'm sure there are many, but that's the one that I'm thinking of. She talks about Dunkin' coffee all the time. And she lived in Boston for such a long time, or for a while anyway. I don't know if it was such a long time, but she lived in Boston, which is, I think, where Dunkin' Donuts originated on the East Coast generally. I remember growing up, it had kind of like the amount of coverage that like Starbucks has today. Basically, I feel like all the jokes about how many Starbucks there are just recycled Dunkin' Donuts jokes. I grew up going to church and it was a Korean church. So like every once in a while, sometimes there was like a big Korean meal after church, but all the other days when it wasn't a meal, it was Dunkin' Donuts. And then I remember when they came out with the munchkin holes, like the munchkins. I don't think they call them holes, but they said munchkins, the little donut holes. That was amazing. I absolutely love those. Those are my favorite. Those and the commercials were so good. I've been eating Dunkin' Donuts since before I could have coffee for sure, but like since I was a kid, since I was like the baby's age. And my mom would love it. And she would get her coffee with so much cream and sugar. Hi, Mom. I think she's here today. She would get it with so much cream and sugar in it. It was awesome. So awesome. All right. Yeah, Back Fam had it. Molly as well. JC. See, at least we're all on the same page. You guys all had it. As Molly. And Back Fam says, is Molly and her sister? Yes, they both are super into it. But I'm guessing like their entire friend group is probably similarly obsessed, as are many. I think as are a lot of kids. I don't want to call them kids, but like a lot of people in that age group. Like my niece, she's I think about the same age, maybe a little bit younger. They've been obsessed with Dunkin' Donuts for years, and I'm like, you guys don't even like coffee or donuts. Why are you going there? Like I couldn't even figure it out. Like I was like, I've never seen you guys eat a donut. I see you guys walking around with the coffee cups, usually the iced ones, and I'm like, that's not even the good stuff. But I guess each generation has their preferences. I sound like a really old man right now. All right. Yeah, Silly Caitlin says Dunkin' originated in Quincy, Massachusetts, just south of Boston. That's great trivia. I did not know that. That's awesome. I knew it was in that area, but I didn't know Quincy, Massachusetts. Awesome. Oh, and Adam Steve says Dunkin' had a Ron Gronkowski promotion back when he played for the Patriots. That's awesome. I feel like words like Gronk and Dunkin' Donuts like go that makes so much sense. That makes a lot of sense. And Crossley says, Dunkin' Donuts, that's Tim Hortons. Yeah, we're in West New York where I grew up. They have Tim. I know there are some in kind of like Canada adjacent areas in the US, but there's not. They've been trying every once in a while to make a push, but I don't know a lot of Americans that are like, oh yeah, Tim Hortons. I know a lot of Canadians that are that way, but not a lot of Americans. Interesting. Yeah. Martha says, I remember when you were talking, had a Boston Marathon edition of one of their models at Kinvara and Dunkin' colors. It was. And I'm so mad that I didn't get that one because like some people were mad about it too. because some people were mad because like they just took a Kinvara and put donuts on it, and I'm like, they took a Kinvara and put Dunkin' donuts on it, and it's the Dunkin' Donuts color. It's absolutely amazing, and I really regret not buying that one. I normally don't like to buy like those like novelty shoes. Like Brooks comes out with like a Thanksgiving ghost and a Halloween ghost and a 4th of July ghost and a St. Patrick's Day ghost. They do all those, and I'm like, whatever, I'm not that interested. But the Dunkin' Donuts one, it came in a box with Dunkin' Donuts paper. Like, I'm like, that's really good. That's really good. It's amazing. Now I'm thinking, you know what they need to do? They need to make a Subway, Subway running shoe. Maybe like a Brooks glycerin Subway edition, that green and yellow, and it comes wrapped as a foot long. I would probably buy that. I don't really like the glycerin as a shoe, but I would get that one. I mean, I have my one custom pair of shoes that I had that Greg made for me is a Brooks glycerin, and I have Warren Buffett's face on the side of it, and I really love that shoe. This year I'm actually really excited for the changes. They're putting that nitro foam, not the same as in the Hyperion Tempo, but a nitro foam in the glycerin. So I'm actually really looking forward to that. And I really think they should do a Subway collab version. That'd be great. Let's see. What else we got here? JC said, I grew up with Krispy Kremes. After church donuts were incentive enough to go to mass. Yeah, see, I'm a little bit older, and so I didn't have Krispy Kremes were more of a Southern thing. I mean, they're everywhere now, but I remember in the beginning, like, I think I might have been in college when Krispy Kreme started to go national. Like, people would like wait for when the donuts came out of the glaze thing, right? But that seemed to be like Atlantic states, South Atlantic states. Danny J says, believe in the world told me to say this. Hi, Mom. I'm saying hi to Rob, or we're saying hi to Megan's mom now. I think that's awesome. That'd be fun. Oh, yeah. Jackie Mai, what's going on, Jackie? Saying popping in to say hello. What's going on? And Frank says, I remember when They Might Be Giants at the Dunkin' commercials, such good jingles. Doing things is what I like to do. I don't remember that. How do I not remember that? That's crazy. I'm gonna have to go look that up now. Jay said, I bet Gronk could put away some donuts. I bet you he could. I feel like he probably, I mean, he's a huge person. So I feel like he has to pack away a lot of calories. But I also feel like his diet's probably pretty clean. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like, to be that size, you got to be maybe a little bit more careful. But he probably also has a lot of room for splurging. I don't know. What does Gronk eat? I'm sure there's been lots of articles listed on that. Ilya Kim says, hey, everyone. Long time no see. Good to see you again, Ilya. Jackie wants the Tim Hortons hot chocolate. Ooh. See, I don't think I've ever been to Tim Hortons. I'm gonna have to try it now. Frank says, what is good about Western New York is Wegmans. There's a Wegmans near my sister in Connecticut. It's awesome. It's a great grocery store. I really enjoy it. Martha says the next glycerin, the number 20, might work for us, Mike. The Aurora midsole. I mean, if it's gonna be that same one, I'm pretty excited. I'm really excited about it. And there's like a knit version. Sometimes Brooks and knit looks really weird. They put it in the Levitate a lot, and I'm just like, it took a weird looking shoe and made it weirder. But some of the ones that I've seen when I was out in Austin, they look really good. So it might be. I mean, Brooks might be the sleeper for brand of the year next year. If some of the stuff that they're making like delivers on what they're trying to do, I mean, I feel like, I don't know. I don't think they're going to have super shoe of the year, but they're going to have a lot of good hits, I think. Maybe. I'll have to try them, but I'm really excited about them, actually. Mika says, speaking about Kinvaras, there are some Kinvara 11s going for peanuts. They're literally like 20 euros. Absolutely love that shoe. Ran 2 pairs into oblivion. Might pick up some more. Yeah, that Kinvara, though, has gone through some changes. So I ran in the Kinvara 9 and the 11. Those are the 2 Kinvaras that I've run in. The 11 was quite a departure from what some of the older Kinvaras were. The 9 was more like some of the older Kinvaras, where it's more like, I think it used to be a marathon shoe, and these days we would call it more of a speed day shoe. I run it on the track. I really like it there. It's a lower stack height, springy shoe. Um, Not a lot of cushion. The 11 went with the Power Run foam, and it went more of like a daily trainer, and I really like that one. I like that even more than the regular Kinvaras, even though it changed what the Kinvara was. And I think lately they've been kind of flipping back to making it more of a speed shoe again. But the Kinvara, I did really like that one. That came in that blackout colorway that they had. Black upper, gray midsole. Looked really nice. All right, let's do the bonus for today. And then I gotta get going. So sorry about that. For the bonus, which Canadian, and it's a bonus because he's a race walker, not a runner, but we just love all the sports that are out there on the road getting their distance in. What Canadian race walker is sponsored by Kraft Dinner? We've been talking a lot about Canadians today with the Tim Hortons. I believe that's just what they called Kraft macaroni and cheese in Canada. They call it Kraft Dinner, which took a second for me to figure out when I first started seeing this kind of collab. It was like it happened around the same time where there was one athlete who really was talking about how she loves cheese, and then she had a cheese sponsorship for a little while. I forget her name. That would have been a good trivia question for today too. And then right around that time, then we heard about this Canadian race walker, who then all of a sudden was like sponsored by, or at least like, I use the word sponsored, but he was showing up in ads and they were working together, and they were paying the athlete. So I thought that was great, because it came out that this race walker loved Kraft Dinner. So anyone remember who that is? Oh yeah, you guys knew this one. Let's see who's the first one to have it. And it is Jonathan Crossley with Evan Dunphy. That is correct. Yeah, Mark Ingham says LOL Dunphy. Ed Chen had it as well. Malagran says Lionel Sanders. That'd be pretty funny. I think he likes Freshie though. So I did have Freshie after the California International Marathon. I love Freshie. I used to eat it all the time. There used to be one across the street from my office, and I ate there like 3 times a week. The Buddha satay with tofu was my favorite. It's so good. But now that I don't work downtown anymore or in like a high foot traffic area, my neighborhood's a high foot traffic area. I think we could totally have a Freshie, but I don't know. I think a Freshie expanded too fast too soon, and then they had some problems. So like they're constricting a little bit. So a lot of locations have closed, but hopefully the brand survives, because I do really enjoy me some Freshie from Lionel Sanders is sponsored by. I think he's still sponsored by him. All right. Yeah. Yeah, Martha says she was from Wisconsin, right? The cheese sponsor gal. No, I thought she was from California. Was it Rebecca Mira? I want to say Rebecca Mira, but I could be wrong on that. But the cheese company was from Wisconsin, if I remember. Maybe I've got that. Maybe I got my facts mixed up. I don't know. I'm not sure. But yeah. All right. Someone had a question earlier on. Oh, Remy says, speaking of sponsors, Athletic Brewing reached out to me yesterday. That's awesome. I'm a big fan of the Athletic Brewing. I like it. Because I enjoy kind of like the social aspect of the drinking beer and flavors of drinking post-race beers. But, I'm getting older. I can't handle as many of the post-race beers as I used to. So it's nice to be able to still, maintain those social habits and pleasantries without having to really pay for it the next day. All right. Let's see. Where was that question? Someone asked a question about 2 things we got to talk about first. One is this one. Mark Ingham says, best donut, partial to the French crawler. The crawler is the daily trainer of the donut. I mean, the old fashioned is probably the daily trainer. I would say the crawler is maybe more, I don't know. I judge a donut shop based on their crawlers though, but an old fashioned is probably more of a staple. So yeah, I don't know. But I love a good French crawler because they're glazed, and with the crawler part, there's just more surface area for glaze. So the ratio of glaze to donut is a little bit higher, and I love it. So French color, a chocolate covered, like a chocolate frosted French color is even better in my opinion. I don't even usually like cake and stuff like that. Like I don't really like sweets all that much. I'm impartial to ice cream, but like when it comes to donuts, I don't like the super crazy ones, but like I like some sweet. All right. And then someone asked a question about the difference between the Ghost and the Glycerin. Let's take this question down. The Ghost is the daily trainer and the Glycerin is the max cushion. So that's how you would understand those two different shoes. There's some different, I think there's different foam. I don't know. I didn't look at, I don't think I reviewed any Brooks this year. Did I not review a single Brooks this year? I don't know. I didn't, yeah, I don't think I did. Because the Catamount, I ran in the Catamount this year, but it was really a 2020 shoe. And the Hyperion Tempo I reviewed in 2020. So yeah, I didn't review any Brooks, I think. Is that right? But I think they changed the foam in the Ghost in 2021 or maybe 2020. So it may be the same foam as in the Glycerin now, but the Glycerin has a higher stack height. Next year, there's going to be even more changes. So, you know, I'm not going to bother looking it up now, but that's just basically the way to look for it. So if you need a little bit more cushion, a little bit more comfort on your run, then you want to go for the Glycerin. If you want something that's a little bit more for a little bit of everything, that's the daily trainer. That's the Brooks Ghost. All right. I think that's a great place to leave it for today, guys. We talked a lot about donuts. We talked a lot about food, even though it wasn't a Monday mukbang day, but we managed to talk about food the entire time. So that was pretty fun. Tomorrow we'll have a live stream, same time as today, 1 p.m. Central. We'll also have a video tomorrow. I'm not sure what it's going to be on yet. I'm going to film a couple of videos pretty much like right now once I get off with you guys. One of those videos will be up tomorrow, and then we'll do the live stream again, 1 o'clock. Hopefully I see you then. In the meantime, be safe out there, everybody. Thanks.